only got to have one clinical day in the ER when I was in nursing school. But during the clinical day, I got to watch the nurses handle a code situation. And there was this one nurse that I felt like really knew what she was doing and was just running the code. And literally my thought was, I want to be that nurse one day. Like, that is badass. Like, that is so cool. But honestly, throughout nursing school, I had a hard time deciding what I wanted to do because I felt like it was such an important decision. Like, this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. But really, it's not, because there's so many different career paths you can go with nursing. Like, you could go into the ER, work in the ER for a couple years, and then transfer to ICU. Or you could go to an outpatient clinic. Or you could start a med surg, then you can go to labor and delivery. Like, there's so many different things you could do. And being a new grad, especially in California, I made a video talking about this. It is very hard to find a job. Unless you already have an in with a hospital, like you work for a hospital, you know someone at a hospital that can help you get a job there. It is definitely very hard. I'm very bad at multitasking, doing my makeup and talking at the same time. Anywho, when I was fresh out of nursing school and I was applying for jobs, I was pretty much just applying for anything and everything that I could kind of see myself in. I applied for med surg positions, I applied for ER, I applied for peds because at one point I thought I really wanted to do peds. So I was kind of just putting myself out there, but I kind of knew in the back of my mind that eventually I wanted to be in the ER. I feel like I'm just very go, go, go type of person. Like, I'm always doing something, and the ER just kind of stimulates my brain in that way. Like, there's always something going on. It's never boring because you're not seeing the same thing over and over. You're seeing something new every day. You never know what's gonna walk through the doors, basically, and I really love that about the ER. So I'm super excited to be starting in the actual ER because right now I work in the inpatient zone of the ER, so it's definitely a little bit different. We're not seeing the patients right when they come in. They pretty much get triaged and then stabilized, and then they come to us for the most part. Sometimes we get some unstable patients, but for the most part. But my advice is to not get discouraged by like what you're feeling, because for the longest time I felt like I would not be a good ER nurse. Like, I'm way too anxious, I don't know enough, I'm not very smart. Like, I had all these like thoughts, and I feel like everyone kind of goes through this, but I feel like if you really want something, you can do it. Like, for instance, I thought I'd never make it through nursing school. I thought I wasn't smart enough. I failed a couple of exams. I failed microbiology the first time through. I literally thought that was the end of the world, but here I am, a full-fledged nurse, passed the NCLEX first try, which never thought would happen either. So it's kind of just, you kind of have to ignore all those negative thoughts in your brain and just go for what you want, because you never know. You could just end up with your dream job, and if you would have never tried, you would have never got there. Why did this get deep all of a sudden? But yeah, I would say if you are a new grad and you don't know exactly what unit you want to work on, then just kind of apply to all the areas you could see yourself working, just to put yourself out there. And then if you're in nursing school, don't stress about this because you have a lot of time to figure it out. Doing your clinical rotations and kind of just seeing these areas will help you weed out what type of nurse you don't want to be and what type of specialty you could see yourself in. So yeah, I hope this helps. This is how I kind of decided that I wanted to go into ER.